Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Here's Alday.
What is going on with all these tools? Welcome back, Islanders. Welcome to a fun episode of What is going on with Aldi. We are going to talk about today about the Swiggle tools I use. And I'm talking about sort of online, some paid, some non-paid, some Discord, some website. I'm going to talk about all the things that I use to get information in Swiggle and to get better at the game and to understand or manage my account and what I think of them all, maybe what I pay with them all. We're going to talk about them all. I have to say we're not getting paid or sponsored by any of these people. And therefore everything I say is completely my opinion. And if I like something or don't like something, it's because I genuinely do. So if you want to kind of disagree with me, come round. Come round to Twitch, welcome to Sandflies, or put down below the kind of tools that you use. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's start kind of at the top. Let's start HotUtils. Now, HotUtils, if you don't know, is a sort of it's one of the original sort of tools that was sort of developed for the game, where they were able to kind of use the information from the game to kind of cross over and kind of you're able to actually control your account from inside HotUtils, the website. Now, I pay about £8 a month, I think, for a Chile server, a Chile level. I'm not 100% sure what that is. But that seems to be what I pay. What I use HotUtils from, well, Bronzium opening is probably one of the most useful things it does. But what it does really well, and what I kind of use it for most, is mod improvements, mod loadouts. So you put in the kind of the lots of different kind of mods, templates that you want or mods you don't want. You can kind of load them in there, load them up, puts all your mods onto one website. You can kind of put them into the workbench area. You can decide to upgrade like 20 or 40 at a time. You can take them all up to different levels. You can kind of sort them in different ways, and it allows you to kind of do what would be your mod management significantly faster than if you tried it in game. I should say CG have drastically improved their in-game mod management, so maybe the need for HotUtils isn't quite there, but I like it still, and I still use HotUtils for my mod management. Other thing it's very good at is the mod loadouts. So you're able to kind of save your entire mods, where they are on which character, and you can then move them around, muck about with them, and you can save another loadout. You can switch between those two loadouts very easily. So if when it comes round to the raid or the next raid or next bit of content, I'll be able to kind of create a completely different mod set for all my raid characters, save it as another mod loadout, and I'll be able to kind of switch between the two much faster and do it offline without having to kind of log into games. So I do think that the mod loadouts in particular is something that HotUtils does very well. The rest of HotUtils for me, it's a bit complicated. The UI maybe isn't as great as kind of being kind of very understandable as how to do things. I don't really use it for anything else. I used to use it a long time ago for, it has a connection to Grand Ivory. And anyone who doesn't know, Grand Ivory is a sort of a modding website. And by using Grand Ivory through HotUtils, you'll be able to kind of do the changes and put all the mods on at the same time. You kind of use both functionalities. So Grand Ivory will optimize your mods, and then HotUtils will help put them all on. That's kind of how it works. I should say though that Grand Ivory, unfortunately, probably isn't as good at modding these days as it used to. Some of the priorities don't seem quite where they need to be, or maybe I'm not using it right. I mean, maybe there's a Grand Ivory expert out there who knows exactly how to set it up and all the different buttons to hit. But certainly when I go into what I'll use it for now is I will probably lock my top 200 characters and I will have it remod the bottom of my roster. And I sort of do that so that you can kind of get rid of the poorer stuff, the mods that tend to be down there that nobody really wants, and to put on the better ones I've farmed over the previous 3 months. That's probably what I use it for occasionally. Sometimes I'll then toss in the new characters and it'll do those as well. But yeah, That's kind of what I use Grand Ivory for, but really HotUtils in particular, really good thing, especially around mod management, I would say. SWGOH.GG. I have a Patreon with them as well. I actually pay £17 a month, and I have the Guild Plus. Now, the reason why I've got that isn't really... It's more because, I mean, I'm a content creator, so I get, I'm lucky enough to people donate money to me, or I get money every month, so I might as well give back in some way. So by having a mod, by having a Guild Plus, it means everyone in the guild, certainly during certain test periods or at the moment, everyone in the guild gets access to GAC Insights. And GAC Insights is probably the best GAC information tool we have available to us. It is a very good UI, very slick, very easy to understand what you're doing. And it really kind of is, you're able to kind of put in exactly what battle, what team you're facing, and you'll see what everyone else has countered it with. Every single other thing, you'll see the success rates, number of banners. It is phenomenal. If you've never used SWGOH.GG Insights, then you probably should give it a go. It is a great tool, and it will make anyone into a GAC expert. The only thing it kind of struggles with recently, or you've got to be very careful of, is it doesn't always reflect the data crons. So like I say, in the first week of every month, it won't have a clue about the data crons. It will be pulling information before that certain sort of set. So you have to be a little bit careful of data crons when using it, or some of the shifting metas, and certainly sometimes it will give an artificially good performance on a team when it had a data cron than it would actually at the moment. So you need to watch out for that. What else do I use? Well, PrimeBot, I use that. Discord, so if you join the Prime Discord server, you can use PrimeBot, which is able to kind of ping you with a Discord message every time your opponent at GAC scores a point. So if you've attacked first and you're really interested to see whether you win or not, sometimes I will register, or often I will register my opponent in there, because it's much better than having to log in periodically every hour to find out whether or not he's bothered attacking. So stick it in PrimeBot, get that warning, get that notification when he's attacking, see what banners he's actually got as he's working his way through. You can really add it on, really add on to the excitement, and certainly you don't miss an attack. What else do you use? Well, the Swiggle Live, or Swiggle GAC Live server, that's in our Discord server. I really love it. I think the people in there are probably the most knowledgeable players that play this game. They know every single counter at every single level of the game. They know what every data cron will do. They know the modding. They are a genius resource of people, and they will go in there, they will stream their GAC, or you can go in there and stream your GAC. So if you're wanting to kind of have that kind of streaming experience, or have that interaction, or have other people enjoy your GAC, certainly the Swiggle GAC Live server is definitely somewhere you should go. What I'll try and do is I'll put links down below to all of these, and you'll be able to kind of get there. But the Swiggle GSC Live server in particular is phenomenal. They also know all the new counters, the stuff that nobody else knows, the stuff that it'll come out of there first, basically. So definitely a place to go and hang out. If you really love talking about Swiggle, if you really love your account, no matter how high or low your GAC is, there's definitely people in there who will help you, will enjoy you, and you'll enjoy having around. What else? Well, the events server, Swiggle Events, I don't go in there as often. I do love to have the little datamines, probably, but I don't think I really go in there as much anymore. It's always worth going in there for a little bit of speculation fun, when they happen to have unlocked a crazy looking ship or a crazy looking picture. If you're intensely paranoid or intensely suspicious, it's definitely the place for you. You'll certainly have a lot of fun in there, certainly in the datamines. Probably I use it most for the Conquest feats. It's probably that's the place where you get the Conquest feats kind of drop the first, so that's kind of place I'll look, the kind of place I'll know that there'll be a nice graphic for that. And so that's probably kind of the place I kind of start in there. Also, they will data mine most of the data crons and stuff like that, so yeah, that's what I like in there. What else? Swiggle For Life. We should talk about Bit Dynasty. Bit Dynasty has an incredible website called Swiggle For Life, and and it is an incredible repository of battles, of strategies, of how to do things. It is all laid out beautifully and links to his specific videos as well in there. And probably it's the best thing in there is for Conquest. He has a plan section where he locks down every team you should be using, how to do it, what the specific battles and feature going for with that team. But definitely the Swiggle For Life website needs a lot of support, and yes. And finally, probably should cover it, YouTube videos. Do I use them as much as I did? No. We talked recently about how the complexity of the games aren't really there, things being relegated, mean you can't even enter the battle until the difficulty has become quite easy. That didn't used to ever be the case. It used to be quite good fun. You used to be able to go into any battle you wanted with any level of characters you kind of wanted. Certainly you probably needed them at 7 stars. But the skill that you had, or the patience you had, or this modding, or the strategy you had, meant you could probably unlock it at Relic 3 rather than your Relic 5. And that was really kind of where a lot of the fun and the interest of the game came. And that's where a lot of the YouTube videos were really kind of centered, was about these sort of monthly little puzzle events, or 2 monthly sort of events where you needed a specific strategy, specific unlock strategy. Still some of the best YouTube content out there. I recently went through one of the profundity ones with Bit Dynasty, as a friend I knew was unlocking profundity, and we sort of did that together. So yeah, still great content, still good stuff. But to be honest, let's face it, the modern stuff just doesn't need the YouTube videos as much. And unfortunately, a lot of the unlocks, certainly a lot of the old unlocks, have actually become easier because there's new characters maybe allowed, or there are reworking to characters, or there's higher levels of this or higher levels of that, or maybe you've taken a B character up to a Relic 5 that used to everybody only ever had it at Gear 12. So look, I think there's a lot of different things, but I think I don't use the YouTube videos as much, I should say. Kind of moved away from those. Anyway, those are the tools that I use for my Swiggle experience and playing my Swiggle game. What to do? Stick down below. Have I missed any out? I didn't talk about Omega Bot, which I did use for a short period of time, but haven't used it in a long time. Maybe you else can't remember. Anyway, you guys stick them down below. If there's any useful sort of tools you use, or Discord servers, or anything that you use to enhance your Swiggle enjoyment, then let us know. And if you know how on earth to use HotUtils or Grand Ivory properly, then let Aldi know. Anyway, everybody have an incredible day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Everyone look after yourself, and may the force be with you.